is not an early primary state, but it just happens to be a state the Republicans can't win without, and we know that. And so we are especially appreciative of Ohio. My aunt lived in Cleveland for years. I came and visited her every once in a while. I can still tell you, if pressed, I think the starting lineup of the Cleveland Indians in 1964. If anybody wants to challenge me on that, I'll stand ready. So it's been a special place for me for many, many years. We really do feel that this campaign is just getting started. You got to have faith right in the very beginning when you take this on, that you're doing it for the right reasons, and you've got the positions on the issues that are important to your country and that will help your country be safer and more secure in the future. And you've got to have faith and conviction that at the end of the day, the people are going to ask themselves, when our worst enemy is sitting down at the table and negotiate with us, who do you want sitting on the other side of the table? Who's going to be solid? Who's going to be experienced to do that? Now, I've had a chance to see my country from a lot of different vantage points. I grew up in a little town in Lawrenceburg, Tennessee, and my folks came in off the farm, and we worked and borrowed our way through school and law school, and I got a chance to be a federal prosecutor when I was in my 20s. I was the Watergate counsel for the Republicans when I was 30 years old. I came back, practiced law, went to the United States Senate, traveled around the world, meeting with foreign leaders, serving on the Intelligence Committee, chairing an important committee that has to do with nuclear proliferation and things of that nature. I've been following these things for many, many years. Even after I left the Senate, Condoleezza Rice asked me to chair an advisory board to the State Department. The President called on me to help Chief Justice John Roberts through the Senate confirmation process. All that experience tells me we're at a crossroads in our country right now. We're going to decide whether or not we're going to divert from the path that we've been on really for over 200 years and go down the path of a welfare state more in the European model, weaker on national security, weaker on national defense, more divided as a nation. That's not the kind of country that I grew up in. That's not the kind of country that you grew up in. It tells me that at the end of the day, we've got to adhere to consistent, common sense, conservative principles. That's what I've been all about. That's what I've been all about since the first day I set foot on the political scene back in 1994. And we were able to come to Washington and participate in take a leadership position in some very important things. We passed 4 major tax cuts while I was there. We balanced the budget for 4 years. We passed welfare reform. We stood tall for the Second Amendment. I had a 100% pro-life voting record during that period of time. So we're saying the same things today that we're saying then. Strong national defense, doing what's necessary to protect our country. We live in a much more dangerous world now than we used to live in. We had the one big enemy. We got a bunch of them now. They're coming at us from different directions. They want to bring down Western civilization, and it's much bigger than Iraq and Afghanistan. And we got to have the right priorities, taking care of our military, rebuilding, taking care of our broken down intelligence system so we get the right kind of intelligence, taking care of our people once they come home after they've served our country. We're spending a much lower percentage on national security in our military right now than we have historically when the challenges are getting greater. So we've got to have those right kind of priorities. Quit bankrupting the next generation with the spending that's going on in Washington. Have conservative, common sense judges. Conservative, common sense judges who will follow the law and the Constitution and not make it up as they go along. Those are the kinds of things that made us a great country and will continue to allow us to enjoy the prosperity that we have as the strongest, freest nation in the history of the world. And that's what I'm committed to and dedicated to. And that's the message that we have. And I think at the end of the day, that's the message that will prevail. But I need your help. I can't tell you what it means to me to have the cross-section of support that we have here. And at the end of the day, I think together we're going to be able to do something good for America. Thank you very much.